Hello and welcome back to Nerd Review, and today it is Lone Survivor, made 2013 and directed by Peter Berg, and stars Mark Wahlberg, Taylor Kitsch, Ben Foster, and Emil Hirsch. And it's based on a true story and the book with the same name about Operation Red Wings and the story of Marcus Luttrell. The movie is about Marcus Luttrell and his team's mission to hunt or capture a Taliban leader. It starts out with footage from real Navy SEAL training and what they go through. And the editing and the music and what's being said is surprisingly motivational. After that intro, you feel like you can do anything. After that, we're in an American base in Afghanistan, where we get to see our four main characters wake up, and we get a good idea on who they are by the different things they do in the morning and their routines. We have a mission brief, and off we go to hunt the Taliban leader. During the mission, they run into goat herders that compromise their position, and they have to decide to let them go or to kill them, as they know they will contact the Taliban as soon as they let them go. They do the right thing after arguing for a bit and let them go, and they decide to leave. During this mission, they've had communication problems and have now lost contact with the command. The Taliban arrive and a shootout begins, and here is where the movie's title comes in, Lone Survivor. Mark Wahlberg becomes the lone survivor of his team. Spoiler alert. And to be honest, I actually like this movie. It has great visuals, with nice long shots showing you all the action and a high production value. Good attention to the actors' training as they move and handle their gear and weapons as trained soldiers. Very good attention to detail, and the action is really well made. You see what's going on, you understand what they're thinking and the tactics being used, the use of practical effects, and good stunt work. My only nitpick is that the muzzle flashes are a little bit too much sometimes. Really good sound design when it comes to the gunshots or artillery, and it really immerses you into the gunfight. The acting also holds up really good. The actors all do a great job as you really feel it when they get hit by a bullet or get hurt. They have a good banter between each other, and you feel a bond of friendship between the four of them. All in all, a good story that motivates you, immersive action, great acting, and a good soundtrack. I definitely recommend you check this movie out. But there is another part of this that I do feel like that has to be brought up, and that's the real story it's based on. Operation Red Wings was a badly planned operation to hunt down a low-level Taliban leader. They sent in a four-man recon team with no previous experience. They didn't want to walk long distances, so they went in with helicopters close to the target location, alerting the Taliban. Even when warned, they decided to not bring strong enough radios for communication. After roping down, they left the ropes on the ground and did not even hide them, making it easier for the Taliban to find them. And once they ran into the goat herders, they had no pre-made plan for what to do if they were found, and had on the spot to decide what to do with them. And here the story varies on how they came to a decision on what to do. Either they voted about it or the team leader decided, but it doesn't really matter in the end, because remember what they're thinking of doing, which is killing civilians. And it's a war crime, and they knew it as well. In the movie, they portray it as some morally gray decision they're doing, but in real life, they knew it and everyone knows it that it's illegal. And there are lots of contradicting facts against the story in the book on how many Talibans they fought against. Marcus Luttrell, in his book, claims around 80 plus fighters, while most other sources say around 10 plus. No bodies of the Taliban casualties were found, but Marcus claimed they killed around 30 plus. Marcus Luttrell also claims he fought hard and was in the thick of the fight, but the Afghan villager that rescued him and the army rangers that also came to rescue him say he had all of his magazines on him, fully loaded. There are a lot more crazy details about this whole operation and how badly it was planned and the hubris it all had. But it really shows you how much in the book the movie is based on are outright lies. Marcus Luttrell himself has a cameo in the movie, which is fine, but it goes a little bit further than that. You think it's just a short dialogue scene or something, but he plays a character that dies in the movie. Maybe it's just me, but going that extra far to a camera feels a little bit weird. I don't know. And the saddest part of this whole story is the man that saved him, Muhammad Gulab. He risked his own life and all of his family and village to rescue Marcus Luttrell. But after the incident and the release of the movie, he was mistreated and lied to by Marcus Luttrell, who promised him a sum from the movie's revenue to help. but he was neglected by Marcus after he started questioning the facts about the book, and no money was ever received. And now had to flee to America as well after his family and most people he knew had been hunted by the Taliban, even killed. But without any help from Marcus Luttrell or anyone else, he's now there, abandoned. And don't get me wrong, I do believe that what this Navy SEALs went through is a horrible thing, it's a tragedy. But when you're hiding this story and making it sound better than it was, I feel like we lose what they fought for. And I do believe they fought for the right thing, which is to fight against the Taliban. So everything that surrounds this movie is filled with controversy, and it's hard to say how much it affects one's thoughts of the movie. As it stands right now, the movie itself is good, but one cannot ignore the real story it's based on. And if a movie claims it's based on a real story, they should be as faithful to it as possible. And in this case, they probably just took the accounts of Marcus Luttrell for granted and went with it. So it's really hard to say who's to blame. And that's about it. All in all, very interesting movie and a very interesting backstory, and it really became a rabbit hole of facts and controversies the more you look into it. And I do recommend that if you're interested in this whole subject and want to know more, do some research yourself because you will find a lot of different facts and stories about this whole event. Anyway, thanks for voting for this movie to be reviewed, and thanks for watching.